Snow drifted lazily outside the window, settling softly on the quiet suburban street. The world looked peaceful, pure, almost magical, exactly the way Daniel had imagined Christmas morning should feel. Inside his home, the tree glowed warmly, its golden lights reflecting against the ornaments he and Elena had picked together in their first year of marriage. He had woken up early, excited like a child, determined to make everything perfect. He brewed Elena's favorite hot chocolate, extra marshmallows, just the way she liked it. He lit the cinnamon candle she always insisted on during the holidays. And he placed the last gift, small, wrapped elegantly with a blue velvet bow, beneath the tree. Inside that box was a necklace he had spent months designing. A snowflake-shaped pendant with tiny diamonds, unique, delicate, meaningful. Just like the woman he believed he loved. Today was supposed to be special. Today he had planned to tell her he was ready to start a family. But Elena hadn't come downstairs yet. Daniel checked the time, almost 10 a.m. Odd, she usually woke early on Christmas. He walked to their bedroom, knocked softly. "Elena, everything okay?" No response. He pushed the door open gently. She was sitting on the edge of the bed, dressed neatly, makeup done, hair styled. Not a trace of sleepiness. Her expression, however, was unreadable, cold, distant. "You're awake," Daniel said, smiling. "I thought you'd still be." "We need to talk," she said suddenly, cutting him off. Daniel's smile faded slightly. "Talk? About what?" Before she could answer, the doorbell rang. Elena stood up quickly. "They're here." "They," Daniel repeated, confused. She walked past him without another word. Daniel followed her downstairs, each step tightening a knot in his chest. When she opened the door, her parents and siblings entered with strange energy, smirks, almost gleeful faces. They didn't greet Daniel warmly. Not even politely. "Morning," Daniel said cautiously. Her mother barely glanced at him. "Let's get this over with." "Get what over with?" Elena's sister whispered something to their father, who chuckled under his breath. The atmosphere felt wrong. Too heavy, too cold, too staged. Daniel's heart began to pound. "Elena," he said softly. "What's going on?" She took a deep breath, lifted her chin, and placed a white envelope on the dining table. "This," she said, "is what's going on." Daniel stared at the envelope. His chest tightened. "What is this?" "Open it." His fingers trembled slightly as he tore it open. He recognized the format immediately. "Legal papers." The words slammed into him with the force of a truck. "Petition for divorce." He froze. The room blurred. "Elena, what is this? Why is this here?" Her mother laughed as if she had been waiting for this moment. "Finally, at last you're leaving him." Her sister clapped silently with an excited grin. Her father pulled out his phone to record the moment, as if it were entertainment. Daniel felt stabbed from all sides. Elena crossed her arms. "I'm done, Daniel. I want a divorce. Today." "Today." His voice cracked. "On Christmas." "Yes. It's symbolic, actually. A fresh start." He shook his head, disbelief swirling in his mind. "Elena, where is this coming from? We've never even talked about something like this." "That's the problem," she said coldly. "We don't talk about the future. Because you don't have one. Not one I want to be part of." Her words cut deeper than any knife. Her father added cruelly, "You were never good enough for her." Daniel swallowed hard. "Please explain. I deserve at least that." Elena exhaled impatiently. "Fine. I'm tired of living a small, boring life. Tired of your modest job. Tired of waiting for you to grow up. I want more. I deserve more." Daniel felt dizzy. "I've been working hard." She interrupted sharply. "Hard? You're barely progressing. I'm done wasting my life waiting for you." Her sister chimed in. She found someone better. Someone successful. Someone who knows what he wants. Daniel stared at Elena, the air knocked out of his lungs. You're seeing someone." She didn't even blink. "Yes." It felt like the floor vanished beneath him. "For how long?" he whispered. 6 months. She replied casually, like it meant nothing. Her mother added proudly, "A man with real ambition. Real money. Someone worthy of her." Worthy. Daniel's hands shook. "And," Elena said, "I'm marrying him." The room erupted in applause from her family. They were celebrating this. Daniel's heart shattered. Elena. His voice was barely audible. Why didn't you talk to me? Why didn't we try to fix things? Because you can't fix someone who doesn't aim high, she said coldly. And I'm done being held back. Her father waved his hand dismissively. Just sign the papers and leave. Don't make a scene. Daniel stared at the divorce papers again, the black ink blurring from the tears he fought back. Christmas. Their anniversary month. The day he planned to give her the necklace he designed. The day he thought they would share dreams of a child together. Instead, she stood there, emotionless, choosing another man. And one more thing, Elena added, her voice sharp. Leave quietly. Don't make it dramatic. You've always been good at disappearing. The words twisted inside his chest. He looked at the people in front of him. Her sneering father, her smug mother, her delighted sister, and Elena, the woman he had loved more than anything. He realized something he should have seen years ago. He was never part of them. They tolerated him. They never valued him. And now they were kicking him out like he meant nothing. Daniel inhaled shakily, his heart cracking deeply but silently. Okay, he said softly. If this is what you want, I won't stop you. Elena nodded almost triumphantly. Daniel looked at the tree one last time. The memories, the dreams, the love he thought was real. Then he walked toward the door. No one stopped him. No one said goodbye. No one cared. But as Daniel stepped outside into the cold Christmas air, his eyes hardened, not with defeat, but with something new. Resolve. They thought they broke him. They had no idea what the quiet man they underestimated was truly capable of. The snow blurred past his windshield as he pressed the accelerator, his chest tight, his breath uneven. Elena's words echoed in his mind like a cruel chant. Small life, no ambition, not enough. The laughter of her family stabbed him repeatedly. He had left the house quietly, just as she demanded. But the silence inside him was not surrender. It was transformation. He drove straight to the gleaming glass tower downtown, a 50-story skyscraper that pierced the winter sky. The guards at the private garage entrance stepped aside immediately when they saw his face. Good evening, Mr. Hill, one said respectfully. Daniel forced a small smile. Evening. Because this building wasn't just an office. It was the headquarters of HTG Industries, one of the largest and most powerful companies in the region. And Daniel Hale, the man Elena called small, was the majority shareholder and heir to the Hale fortune, a legacy quietly protected after his father's death. He had chosen simplicity. He had chosen humility. He had chosen love over status. And she had discarded all of it. As the elevator shot upward, Daniel wiped his face, finally letting a few tears fall. Not for Elena, but for the man he had been before today. A man who believed love was enough. A man who never wanted to intimidate others with wealth. A man who tried to build a simple life with someone who secretly wanted luxury more than loyalty. When the elevator opened at the top floor, his assistant, Grace, stood waiting. You're early, sir, she said gently. Everything okay? Daniel inhaled shakily. Not really. I need all the executive lawyers in my office in 1 hour. Grace blinked. All of them? Yes. And pull everything we have on Victor Carling. Her eyebrows shot up. Victor Carling. The businessman. Daniel's jaw hardened. Yes. The one my wife left me for. The look on Grace's face changed from concern to ice-cold fury. She had seen Daniel work hard, suffer quietly, build responsibly. She respected him deeply. I'll get everything ready, she said firmly. By evening, Daniel sat at the head of the massive conference table, surrounded by 9 lawyers. Dozens of files lay stacked beside him. Financial statements, investigation reports, leaked emails, transaction logs. Sir, one lawyer said, pushing forward a thick folder, Victor Carling's record is worse than we thought. Daniel opened the file. His eyes scanned line after line. Illegal transfers, fraudulent investments, hidden accounts, tax evasion, embezzlement, even connections to money laundering. Another lawyer cleared his throat. This could bring down his entire company. A third added, and possibly put him in prison. Daniel closed the folder calmly. Good. 3 days later, Elena's family rented a luxury restaurant for her engagement dinner with Victor. The chandelier sparkled above them, the tables adorned with roses and gold. Elena walked in wearing a shimmering silver dress, her face glowing with pride. Her sister recorded everything for social media. Her mother bragged to guests about her daughter, upgrading her life. Her father kept praising Victor loudly. Victor himself strutted around, shaking hands, pretending to be generous, draping an arm around Elena as if she were a prize he had won at an auction. "See," Elena whispered proudly to her father. "This is what I deserve." He kissed her forehead. "You made the right choice, sweetheart." They all laughed, until the restaurant doors swung open. The laughter died instantly. Daniel walked in, tall, composed, dressed in a black coat, his presence commanding the room without effort. Elena stood up abruptly. "Daniel, why are you here? I told you to stay out of." He raised a hand calmly. "I'm not here for you." His eyes moved past her, and locked on Victor. Victor's smirk vanished. "What do you want, Hale?" Victor asked, trying to sound confident. Daniel walked closer, his footsteps slow and deliberate. "I came to deliver something," he said, pulling out a sealed envelope. Victor took it with shaking fingers. "What is this? Open it." Victor tore the envelope. The moment his eyes landed on the documents, his face lost all color. What is this? This isn't real." "Oh, it's very real," Daniel said softly. "Every illegal transaction, every fraudulent account, every crime you've been hiding." Elena's father frowned. "What are you talking about?" Daniel looked at him. "I own the investigation firm Victor thought he could bribe. They found everything." Victor stumbled back. You planned this." "No," Daniel said. "You planned your crimes. I just exposed them." Elena grabbed Victor's arm. "Tell him it's fake. Tell him." Victor couldn't speak. He just stared at the papers in horror. "Tomorrow morning," Daniel continued, "these documents will be handed to federal investigators. Your company will collapse, your assets will freeze, and you will likely be in handcuffs." The room gasped. Elena's mother covered her mouth. No. Daniel wasn't finished. He turned to Elena's family. "And now, your turn." Her father blinked. "What do you mean our turn?" Daniel pulled out another folder. "This," he said, "is the purchase agreement for the restaurant chain your entire family works for." The mother shook her head frantically. No, that's not possible." "It is," Daniel replied. "The deal closed an hour ago. I'm the new owner." Elena's sister burst into tears. You can't fire us." Daniel looked directly at her. "You celebrated destroying me on Christmas Day. You mocked me, laughed at me, disrespected me, and now you're facing the consequences." He turned to Elena, who stood frozen, her face pale as ice. "You wanted a man with ambition," Daniel said quietly. "Congratulations. You found one. I just wasn't the one you chose." She stepped forward desperately. "Daniel, please. I didn't know. I didn't realize." "You didn't want to realize," he replied. "You wanted a richer life. Now you have none." "Daniel, please," she whispered, tears streaming. "I made a mistake. You were good to me." "I didn't mean." "You meant every word," he said. "And now you can live with them." He stepped back. "And for the record, I didn't destroy your lives. You destroyed them the day you divorced me on Christmas. I just stopped protecting you from the consequences." Elena collapsed into a chair, sobbing. Her father tried to speak. "Daniel, please, we made a mistake." Daniel shook his head. "I'm not your son-in-law anymore. You lost that privilege when you cheered for my humiliation." He turned around and walked away, leaving the room in stunned silence. The moment he stepped outside, snowflakes landed gently on his coat. He inhaled deeply, feeling something he hadn't felt in months. Peace. He hadn't won out of revenge. He had won because he reclaimed himself. And as he walked into the quiet winter night, he whispered to himself, "Let this be my new beginning."